What's going on there, YouTube, and welcome back to another comic book video. This is the channel where we sit down and cover different comic book videos from different comic book companies. Today, we are going to jump back over to IDW and continue our coverage over the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now, in this video, it's time for us to finally learn the origin of the Foot Clan in the new IDW Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles universe. How did the Foot Clan come to be as it is today in today's comics? Well, this book here will tell us everything we need to know. So if you do like today's comic book video, please hit that like button down below and also subscribe to the channel for more content to come in the near future. But I do hope you enjoy today's video. So we opened the book with the story talking about the U-Clan. There was a period of time where the U-Clan was the most powerful group in Japan. This group is being led by Daimyo Ashikaga. I know I just butchered that. But the downfall of the group is because of one man named Takashi. This is where we learn that Takashi's reputation was growing to the point that he was supposed to be the one in charge next after Daimyo Ashikaga. Except Daimyo did not want that. He couldn't accept the fact that Takashi would be the one in charge. So he sent an army after Takashi to kill him, which Takashi is able to take out most of the men before dying, only to end up dying at the end of this section. We do learn that Takashi was able to get rid of Daimyo, except after doing that, well, Takashi died, but he was brought back to life through some weird method, and of course, this gave birth to the Foot Clan. That is when we jump back into the past to pick up with April O'Neil and Casey Jones watching a man named Dr. Miller give a presentation about the history of the Foot Clan. Of course, the Turtles are there as well to watch, hoping that maybe they can learn more about the Foot Clan. With that being said, that is when Dr. Miller reveals that he has pages from the past that talks about the Foot Clan, how it got started, but also to talk about how Takashi had to kill off the organization that came before the Foot Clan. This is where the story jumps back into the past again, where we see the early days of the Foot Clan, where we pick up with two new characters named Masato and Oroku Maji, who of course are part of the Foot Clan, and the Foot Clan are attacking this village to get rid of a lord named Daisuke. I know I just butchered that name. Now, new characters learn about how their leader Takashi has been working with a demon named Kitsune, a lady who turns from a fox into a human being, that she has been working with some kind of iron demon that gave her a substance that was able to bring Takashi back to life. Now, the Foot Clan members working with a demon is a huge mistake. Not a mistake, more of a no. So when new characters Masato and Oroku Maji see their master Takashi working with the demon, it's huge. Back in the present day, after the presentation, we see the Turtles, April, and Casey Jones thinking that they should go back to their base to ask Splinter if he knows more about the demon Kitsune. Before he begins to tell us about the history of Kitsune, we see that Karai, the daughter of Shredder, meets up with Dr. Miller to hire him so he can help the Foot Clan in the present day to find something. Now, that is when we learned that Masato and Oroku had a secret meeting with the Foot Clan without Takashi to talk about the fact that Takashi has been working with a demon, and to the Foot Clan, working with a demon is a no. So with that being said, you had the story show us the reason Takashi came back to life but also stayed so young. that Kitsune gave Takashi some kind of stuff to drink that would keep him young and let him stay strong. Takashi hated the fact that he had to do that, but he did it anyways to help the Foot Clan grow. Either way, you have Masato and Oroku come out of hiding and attack Takashi, which they do end up killing him in the process. With that being said, you have Kitsune leave, except she mentions that the Oroku Maji family will be cursed with the soul of Takashi, that his son will be cursed to be more exact. Now that is when we learn that Kitsune was giving Takashi the ooze from the homeworld of the Ultra Minions. We learn this because Kitsune has been working with one of the people from Krang's race. This is not Krang, but someone else from his race, and this Ultra Minion was the Iron Demon Kitsune was talking about. So Kitsune was a person giving Takashi ooze to keep him young. So at the opening of this second chapter, we see the turtles thinking that it would be a great idea for them to go visit Dr. Miller, hoping that he'll be able to give them more information about the Foot Clan. Since he has the book, he is able to translate what the book is speaking about. Now, when the turtles get there to pick him up, they see that Shredder's granddaughter, Kanai, is there as well. Of course, she is there to pick up Dr. Miller. Now, Dr. Miller has no idea about the turtles or the fact that the Foot Clan is still around in the present day. To him, they have died off, or just missing maybe. But this is going to be the book where he finds out about them. Now, Karai doesn't tell him why she is picking him up, except while they are driving away, that is the moment she realized that the turtles are following them. So she tells the driver to lose the turtles so they can get away. Now, this begins a fight scene in the middle of the book, because what is a turtle book that has no action? It would be boring. Plus, we want to see our turtles take down some of the Foot Clan members. Now, this book is not going to end here. We just need some action in the book. So you have the turtles fight against the Foot Clan ninjas that were with Karai, but it does end up with her getting away with Dr. Miller, taking him back to the Foot Clan base to see Shredder. Except at the very last moment, Raphael was able to throw a shuriken that Donatello made. That is a tracker really, giving them the ability to find the base of the Foot Clan and hopefully save Dr. Miller. After the chase, we see Dr. Miller arrive at the base of the Foot Clan. This is the moment he learns about Shredder and the fact that the Foot Clan never died, that they have been revived thanks to Karai. Well, really saved because they were almost ruined thanks to Karai's father. We learn why Shredder had brought Dr. Miller here to translate the Hashi no Himistu book. I just butchered that so bad. Which to Dr. Miller, you can tell he is shocked to see that it is real or even still around. Jumping back into the past, we can see that the Kitsune curse came true because we see Shredder as a boy. Remember, Shredder's name is really Oroku Saki. We see him as a boy, and they give him a test to see if the curse had worked, where he points out items that belong to Takashi, the man Oroku Maji killed. Kitsune said that the spirit of Takashi will inhabit Oroku Saki's first son, which of course is Shredder, stating this is why he is so evil. But Oroku Maji thought back then he could change the curse from coming true. A few years have passed by, where we see Shredder as an adult. We also see Yoshi as well, who we known as Splinter in his past life. This is the moment we learn that over the years, Shredder has become a very egomaniac, also taking the credit for everything, Even though most of the time he had a team of ninjas with him from the Foot Clan, there's a point where he thinks he is all that. He can steal the wife of Yoshi, the mother of the turtles from their past life. Yoshi does come back and stop him, but Shredder wanted to fight for her, except Orokumaji stopped them both and sent them away. Shredder never knew about this curse while he was growing up, just that his father was trying to hide something from him or change something in him. Either way, that is the moment Kitsune appears and tells him to look under the floor for his destiny, where of course he finds the Hashi no Hamatatsu book. Man, I am just butchering names left and right in today's video. The same one we saw in the present day that Shredder was showing Dr. Miller. In the present day, we see that Shredder sees that the tracer Raphael had put on the briefcase of Dr. Miller earlier is still there, which of course tells him that the turtles were able to trace their location, which of course, that is when one of the members of the Foot Clan comes and tells Shredder that the turtles are there and attacking the place, which you have Shredder reveal Alopex, a mutant snow fox, to watch over Dr. Miller, which makes him even more confused on what is going on here. Either way, that is when Shredder walks out to fight against the turtles. Back in the past, we see that Orokumaji found out that Shredder had found the book, which of course could mean the curse is going to come true. So you have Orokumaji tell us that he has sent out an army of members of the Foot Clan to slow Shredder down, which then the story does switch over to see that the army of members of the Foot Clan that was sent out, they do find Shredder. They do begin to fight him, except one of them thinks it would be a great idea to go ahead and kill him off now, instead of bringing him back home, which to Shredder, to him it seems that his father just sent an army out there to kill him. So you have Shredder actually go ahead and kill all of these men off. But after doing that, Kitsune appears to play her mind games on him by telling him that he was betrayed by his own father. Back in the present day, we see the Foot Clan still fighting against the turtles over Dr. Miller, which Dr. Miller is still confused on what in the world is going on at the moment, wondering if he should run away. Then it is like, where can this man run to? There are people fighting all over the place. Now there is a moment Shredder and Splinter have a conversation to show us that these two have a connection with one another, both being revived in their own way, except you have Splinter mention that Shredder had betrayed his father, something the turtles would not do to him. Then back in the past, Kitsune continues to show Shredder that he technically has the spirit of Takashi inside his soul. She just showed him all the past events where Shredder's father, Orokumaji, had killed off Takashi. This is the moment that really has Shredder believe what Kitsune is saying, that his father betrayed him, which of course makes him join her side. She tells him that the Ultra Minions, who she calls an Iron Demon, is offering eternal life, which of course we know that Shredder takes the offer and becomes eternal. Back in the present day, the story does switch over to the present day to show us that the fight is still going on, except the fight is going towards the favor of the turtles, meaning that they are able to get their hands on Dr. Miller. They are able to grab Dr. Miller and get him to April's car. Now this kind of book tells us who are the two best fighters of the turtles. Well, to me it is, stating that Leonardo and Raphael are the top fighters of the team, because we see them take on a lot of the more dangerous members of the Foot Clan. Either way, the Turtles were able to get their hands on Dr. Miller and get out of there. When they're able to get some downtime and actually talk about what the book states about Shredder, well, you have Dr. Miller read the book, where it states that Shredder could be unkillable, meaning that he could be unbeatable, which could make things hard for the Turtles when it comes time to kill Shredder. So you have the Turtles just sit and think what they can do to win this battle. Back in the present day, we see Shredder come back home to show his father that he did not die. Also that he had killed the other master of the Foot Clan at that time to show that he means business, where chapter 3 closes with us believing that Shredder just killed his father. With the opening of the 4th chapter, we see that Shredder pretends that someone else killed his father, that it was not him, of course, which no one really tries to challenge the idea that maybe it was Shredder. Then Shredder tells Yoshi, aka Past Splinter, that the other master is dead as well, which of course had put Shredder in the front to be the one in charge of the Foot Clan. In the present day, we see the Turtles, Splinter, April, and Casey had escaped with Dr. Miller somewhere safe to look over the book. Of course, this is a big moment for Michelangelo. We learn that he can read the book, which he should not be able to do. The reason why is because the book is in Japanese. The Turtles never studied Japanese in their new lives as Turtles, except this confirms that the Turtles are just reincarnations from their past lives. The book leads into a section where we see the Turtles beginning to fight against the Foot Clan again because they were able to find the Turtles in the bar they were hiding in, which does give us a few pages of them fighting against each other. Honestly, this is the moment we see that Dr. Miller is really wanting to work with Shredder of all people to work with. So while the fighting goes on, you have Dr. Miller actually leave to rejoin the Foot Clan and actually help them out. The fighting ends with the Turtles being able to get away, but now they lost Dr. Miller. Except they were able to grab the book to keep it away from Shredder and the Foot Clan. Now the book ends with explaining how the ritual worked for Shredder, how he was able to come back to life so many years later. That back in the past, Kitsune and Shredder killed the Ultra Minion off to keep the ooze for themselves and never had to repay him. With the ooze now in their possession, Shredder had to kill himself and his body had to be buried in a casket full of the ooze. Then Kitsune did a ritual on the casket. When someone from Shredder's bloodline drops their blood into the casket full of the ooze and Shredder, his body will change back to the point before he died, which of course Kari did. And that is how he was able to come back to New York in the present day. And this is where we are going to end today's video. So please hit that like button down below and also subscribe to the channel for more content to come in the near future. Also, any suggestions on books I should read, well, please let me know in the comments below, because you never know, your suggestion could be a future video down the road. But I do hope to see you in the near future.